Hi guys, hope you're well. I just got the guidance to connect with the collective and channel a message for the newly awakened. And this message is also applicable to those who've been on their path, as each one will find some golden nuggets that we can pick up from this message and benefit from it in our own life's path. So I was connecting with my guides, the Council of 12, and the message I'm tuning into today is that of the collective awakening, the mass awakening, which is I'm feeling and I'm seeing all the signs of the mass awakening taking place. And it's very important for us to, when we first awaken, it's very important for us to connect with the right resources and make sure that the information that we're following is from pure sources, because our internet is the first thing that people go to when they awaken, and it is full of crap. It is full of, like, there's good stuff in there, but there's mostly people who are awakened or semi-awakened, but they still have not fully, or for the most part, their ego is still dominating their reality, and to that effect they're not in a good place to guide others. But it is a learning process for all of us, and we do the best we can. So the first thing that we need to put out there is that those who are receiving this message and have been on their path for some time or are newly awakening are to really strengthen their ability to discern information. And the way we discern is through going into our heart, not by using our head, by using our heart. And when you're connecting to a teacher, and by teacher I mean someone who has been on the spiritual path, is dedicated to their path, and they walk the talk. They're not just putting out fancy information, but their whole life is dedicated to ensuring that they are a living example for everything that comes out of their mouth, or everything that they preach, they're practicing. You cannot have hypocrisy, even in tiny amounts. You cannot have hypocrisy in spirituality, because the energy just won't allow it. Eventually, people see through it. We're all psychic. We're all intuitive. We're all gifted, and we feel heart's resonance. We can see the truth in people's eyes, and when people are not being truthful, when people are speaking fancy terms and leading people on, but their life is a mess behind the scenes, then it exudes in your energy. So when you feel like you're connecting with a teacher who is who's got their shit together, you will just feel good in your heart. And a true guide or a true teacher will never make you feel bad about yourself. They'll never push guilt on you. They'll never tell you that you're doing this wrong. So they have a way of teaching everything in a sense of love, in a very gentle, kind, compassionate way, because they know that it's difficult. They know they've been through the struggle, and they see where you are. They see where you are because they've been through the same thing. If you haven't jumped through the hoops, if you haven't passed all the initiations and tests yourself, then you're not in a place to tell anyone else how to go through the same thing. So you have to have gone through all the initiations before you can guide others. So having said that, I'm tuning into my guides, the Council of 12, and these are guides. These are mostly guides from the galactic level. They're comprised of 12 beings. I haven't tuned into their individual names. One of them goes by the name Aztar. There's Archangel Metatron, which is who's from the angelic realms. That's my man back there. And there's a, a kind of a cocktail of energies of various galactic guides from the Sirius star system, Arcturus, Polaris, and the Pleiades. So I've been blessed to be guided by very high level guides from the beginning. And one of the things that I realized very early on in my path is I experienced a rapid awakening. And for me, the path of awakening was like I got hit by a lightning bolt. That's what it felt like. I didn't actually get hit by a lightning bolt, but my life just turned upside down in a blink of an eye. I left my previous marriage, which wasn't working. I left my job, and I went through a really dark period for a while. And I had to pass through certain initiations before I came out. And I lifted myself up out of the darkness. I didn't have any resources. I didn't have anyone who could teach me. By the time I found someone who could teach me, I had already passed through the initiations. And I didn't fall into feeling pity for myself. I didn't fall into victimhood. I picked myself up from rock bottom. So I know, and I'm talking to those who are going through it right now. I know how difficult it is, and I'm with you in spirit. And that's my main motivation for putting out this information, because this is stuff I did not have. So having said that, Earth is a melting pot for all kinds of souls. So in essence, Earth is a place until now that all the cast outs from other planets in the galaxies, all the criminals, all the souls who were just not learning their lessons and were so dark in their had gone so dark and had trodden down the path, had separated themselves from divinity to such a high extent that they were cast off. And to a certain extent, Earth was like a jail for this part of the galaxy. So this was it was decided on the angelic realms that Earth would remain as a planet under quarantine, and all the souls who did not fit into other planetary systems would be sent to Earth. So that's one of the reasons there's so much negativity on our planet. 80% of the population is negatively oriented on our planet. So having said that, never before in the history of our galaxy has a planet that's been so dark oriented ever risen so rapidly to a state of ascension. So currently, as of December 21st, 2012, Earth is an ascended planet, and it's a benchmark really in the history of our galaxy. This is something that has not been done before. So souls come to Earth to evolve. They come to grow. And one of the reasons Earth is such a sought after planet for souls, like you would ask yourself, why as a soul would I choose to incarnate in a planet that's like a jail for so many dark or negatively oriented beings? And the reason is because Earth is such a tough school, it also affords the highest opportunities for growth. So the amount of evolution you can achieve in one lifetime on Earth is equal to, and this is just a rough example, would be equal to like 1,000 years of your evolution on other planets. because Earth has a very unique mix. And the main thing that sets us apart is that as humanity, we are able to express 108 different emotions, and we have free will, and we have like all kinds of distractions out there. So for a soul to come to Earth, to get amnesia after birth and to forget our true divine nature, and to be knocked around in our life, go through cycles of abuse and so much karma that we accumulate on Earth, and for us to come out of this and ascend is truly an achievement that is being applauded by the galactics. So know that whatever you're facing, it's so worth it, because once you are walking the spiritual path, you're given an opportunity to rise up in your divinity. And it's difficult because society is structured in a way where our lifestyles are based on competition and amassing wealth, and we're just trapped in these sedentary lifestyles where we don't get enough exercise, we just eat food that's not good for our bodies, and there's so many distractions. There's video games, there's television, and we're just like really bogged down in this 3D dense grid, and we're really not focused on what we came here to do. So the first thing that throws us off is that society from a young age streamlines us into focusing on amassing wealth and to focusing on acquiring material wealth and objects and possessions. And we really forget that we came here to evolve our souls. So our soul starts feeling really sad. We have a lot of depression on Earth, and that's one of the reasons, because we're so disconnected from our soul's frequency, we forget what we really came here for. And if you're not aligned with the main reason for coming to Earth, for evolution, for growth, to experience love, to experience compassion and harmony, then you're not gonna be a happy person. And that's one of the reasons that before awakening, a lot of us go through depression. A lot of us go through, really start asking, we even go through, have suicidal thoughts, and we really start asking, what's the reason for coming to this shitty place? But there are many things out there that can help you get out of this. And we live in a vibrational universe. So the way it works is that Earth has two polarities. One is the polarity of creating heaven on Earth, and the other polarity is hell on Earth. We can have either one. It really is a choice. So we came here to master how to create our reality. And when we begin to put all the pieces of the puzzle together, when we become spiritually awakened, when we start learning consciously about the law of attraction and manifestation and creation, and when we raise our consciousness as a soul to connect with our guides, connect with our guidance system, and connect with our soul's frequency, and we begin to remember slowly, we begin to remember why we came here, and we begin to align our path with our soul's path, and we can really change things around to create heaven on earth for ourselves. So the purpose of this video is to give you a brief overview of how to do that and what kind of roadblocks, what kind of blocks you may face in that process and how to overcome those blocks. So the way things are going on Earth at the moment is we are so focused on greed. We're so focused on profiting. We're so focused on taking from each other and from our Mother Earth, that 2/3 of the population are left without the basic necessities of life. We're constantly overworked, we're polluting our environment, we're facing immune system failures, there's diseases out there, there's famine, there's starvation. And we know that as a species, if we don't make drastic changes, then we're not going to survive. We're not going to be here to see new Earth. We're not going to have that luxury, because although in a way it is to say that Earth has already ascended into 5D, not all souls will see 5D Earth. The ones that choose to remain stuck in 3D Earth and continue the cycles without changing anything, if they continue to disrespect our planet, our mother, the resources and all the blessings that we have, and if we're not living in harmony with each other and with our planet, then those souls will remain stuck in a lower timeline. And that lower timeline, so currently there are two major timelines for Earth. One is the 3D timeline, which exists for another 70 years from now and eventually destroys itself. Humanity destroys itself in that timeline. So souls that do not ascend in this time are going to be taken off Earth through a cataclysmic event. That does not mean that all of us will be taken off the planet. The ones who are currently working on themselves, they're working through their issues, who are already somewhat spiritually awakened, are going to make it into the heaven on earth timeline, or the 5D timeline, where Earth sees a golden age for the next 2,000 years. So these are the two timelines, and right now there's a splitting of the timelines taking place. So it doesn't mean that if you're not awakened that you're not going to make it. You just have to be a good person. You just have to wish well for others, and you just have to have honesty, truth, and the well-being of the collective in your heart's dominant field. If that's the case, then you're automatically one of the souls that has a chance to be in the heaven on earth timeline. So as of December 21st, 2012, Earth graduated into a 4D timeline. And that means that all souls that are remaining on Earth and are going to be continuing into the heaven on earth timeline are going to have to be conscious souls, are going to have to learn how to live in harmony and coexist with each other, and not be conscious of our energy, and be conscious of not polluting our environment, and be conscious of living in harmony with each other, living in peace, and not spreading hatred, not spreading war, not spreading anger. And these souls are the ones that have taken the tougher job of working on themselves. One of our prophets said that the greatest battle is the one that takes place within your heart. And that is so true, because you can fight battles outside all you want to test your bravery, but the amount of bravery and courage that it takes to win the battle within your own heart against your own demons is way greater. It takes a lot more courage to win that battle than to pick up a gun and shoot someone or be shot. So all souls who are currently residing on Earth, on planet Earth, are to be of a higher frequency, are to be of a conscious frequency, and must have a willingness to co-create heaven on earth and take responsibility for their own actions, for their own energy, and be conscious contributors to New Earth. So in New Earth, soul frequencies are going to be all fourth dimensional conscious beings or higher. And those souls that choose to remain in conflict, in negativity, in greed, in lust for power, and they want to play out their dramas and project on others and keep pulling others into their dramas, they're going to exit Earth in one way or another. So one way souls will exit Earth is just through natural death, and when their time expires in this lifetime, they'll simply be moved to or relocated to another planet that is more suited for a 3D level of consciousness, where they can continue their dramas and they'll have an infinite amount of time to learn on other planets. But because Earth as a planet has chosen to up level into a state of 4D, it's not going to be able to it's not going to be hosting any souls that continue in the lower frequencies, and those souls will be removed from Earth, and all souls remaining on Earth will be living in co-creation and harmony. So the way this takes place, the way awakening takes place, is through the solar storms, electromagnetic fluctuations, and these are all galactic energies that are sent from the great central sun, which is located in the center of our galaxy. And these higher frequencies are being sent to us, to our solar system, through our sun, to create mutations in our DNA. And this awakens or triggers ancient memories of our full potential. So currently human beings are existing in 2 strands of DNA, whereas the fully activated Christed being, or which is also known as the Adam Kadmon template, has fully activated 12 strands of DNA. So with 2 strands of DNA, we're only able to operate on the frequency of survival. So with 2 strands of DNA, we were in 3D consciousness, and we were just concerned with how to survive, how to pay our bills, how to not be eaten by dinosaurs, or how to not starve. So the first 2 strands of DNA are just basic survival. 3 and 4 are going to be where we begin to awaken to a higher purpose, and we start to ask higher level questions about the existence of the universe, the existence of our souls, why we came here. And moving up from there, we begin to activate our psychic gifts and abilities. Those who resist become sick. Those who resist the changes after awakening start developing illnesses and disease and go into depression. And that doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means that you're in fear. And the purpose of this message is to help you get out of fear. I've been through the same thing. I've been through the dark period where I had the dark night of the soul, and I realized that I need to make certain changes. And it seemed like the most difficult thing in the world to do. But I went through it. I had to make the decision to separate myself from my family, and in that time I had to leave my daughters and exit from my house because I could not survive in that situation. And that was the most difficult thing in the world. It led me almost into a depression, into a state of darkness. And I know how difficult it can be when we need to make those life-changing decisions and we don't know how we're even going to survive the next day. We don't know what lies ahead. But fear is the first thing that's going to get you. There's many things that can become blocks to our ascension, from identifying with ego, being addicted to food, being addicted to sex, having a sense of superiority or inferiority, having constantly obsessing about fear of your safety for survival, having scarcity mentality, like feeling like there's not enough and I need to grab everything to survive, and having a having an identification with your religious beliefs also really holds you back, because religion was designed to keep us small and keep us locked into paradigms of guilt. If you don't do this, you'll be punished. It's like God is this angry father who will punish you and throw you in hell. So all mainstream religions were designed to keep you locked in that frame of mind, to keep you small. And many of us also come with a lot of trauma from our childhood. We've been through horrible, horrible things. And as a healer, I've experienced and witnessed a lot of the traumas that people have experienced. And if we hold on to those traumas, if we begin to identify with them, then we're not going to move forward. So it's of the utmost importance to muster up every ounce of courage and begin to leave all these things behind. Leave all the victim mentality behind. Leave our egos behind. Leave our addictions behind, and really move forward and raise ourselves in vibration as human angels, because that is our potential. We came here, this whole holographic reality is designed to help you evolve into an angelic being, into a higher frequency being. And when you activate your higher consciousness, you begin to connect with higher sources of knowledge and intelligence. You will begin to get messages from galactic beings, from angelic beings. You will receive all the miracles and the confirmations that there will not be any doubt left in your mind. But the proof is not shown first. That's why they call it faith. You have to have faith in order to ascend. You have to have faith first. You have to dive into the unknown first. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a test. If I showed you, here's a candy and here's a stick, which one would you go for? You would go for the candy, right? But that's not how spirituality works. The spirituality will ask you, do you trust that there's a bigger plan for you? And it'll put a blindfold on you, and it'll say, will you come with us even though you may not know where you're going? And you need to choose the unknown. You need to choose your intuition, your guidance. And you need to take the first step into the unknown. And when you take that first step into the unknown, whatever that may be for you, then all the doors open up. Then all the guidance begins to trickle in. Then all the miracles begin to reveal themselves to you. So let go of all negativity in your life. Let go of all that's not serving your highest good. Let go of anyone who's holding you back, anyone telling you you're not good enough, anyone who's a negative influence in your life, anyone, if you're surrounded by friends who are constantly gossiping, and if they're in addictive behaviors and they're inviting you into their circle to constantly join them, then you need to make a conscious choice. Which way do you want to go? This ascension is going to be accelerating from 2020 to 2032. And this next 12-year cycle, or actually we're in a 13-year galactic cycle, this is going to be one of the most potent times we've seen in Earth's history, where if you work on your stuff in this time, you're going to be doing thousands of years worth of work. And you have so much assistance right now in the next 13 years to raise your vibration and ascend, that this kind of portal, this kind of opening, or this kind of up-leveling will not occur again for millions of years. So we really have to appreciate the true gift that lies before us with this ascension. This is a gift that is given by Prime Creator to humanity. This is a gift for us. The ladder is being shown to us. All we have to do is climb up. So take your time and really cut out all that's not serving you. Work on your emotions, work on your triggers, work on any addictions that you might have. Listen to uplifting meditation music. Take quiet time to yourself and meditate daily. Clear your head of negativity. If you're feeling that your work or your job is not aligning, then take steps to align yourself with something that's serving you, something that is aligned with your joy, whatever it is. Make joy your North Star, your guiding compass, and fill yourself with exciting, positive things in your life, exciting, positive people who uplift you. Listen to, there's so many YouTube videos out there. There's so many teachers out there who can guide you. All you need to do is tune into the right channels. So having said that, I love you so much, and I hope you got something positive from this message, and we're all here to uplift each other, guys. And from my heart to yours, I love you, and until we connect next time, thank you.